So the swine flu outbreak, that's been a huge problem now, especially at the Queen's campus.
It really has. I actually got sick over the summer, not with the swine flu, and my doctor was on vacation, so I had to go to a walk-in clinic. And I go to the front desk and they're like, oh, we're actually closed indefinitely until the swine flu blows over.
Wow.
So, I don't know, I just kind of hung out in my room and drank soup a lot. Eventually got better, but like, that's kind of ridiculous.
That's crazy. I mean, you should really have the access to the doctors that you need when you're sick.
Yeah.
I was definitely in a hospital a couple of weeks ago, you know, just a general checkup, and it's amazing the type of precautions people take. You know, the masks over their faces. You know, if they're trying to open up a door, they'll put their t-shirt over their elbow and try to push the door open. And you know, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's definitely good to have that safety factor and that precaution to make sure you're all protected. But wow, like that's you know, it's impressive. But anyways. We have Trina Stevens, who's talking to Suzanne Billings. She is the medical director of the Student Health Services here at Queen's. And we also have Justin Chenier, who is from the KFL and A Public Health Services. And they're going to be talking to us a little bit more about the swine flu outbreak and what we can do to keep ourselves safe and protected. So check this out.
As students make their way back to campus this September, many things will be on their mind. Course schedules, club signups, sports tryouts, there's a lot to think about. What is unlikely to occupy their attention is the upcoming flu season, even as the H1N1 virus continues to spread globally and the World Health Organization maintains a Phase 6 pandemic level for this virus. Today, Queen's TV fills you in on what the students need to know about the H1N1 virus. This virus has been given a lot of different names. We know it as swine flu, influenza A, H1N1. What's with all the names and what exactly are we dealing with?
Well, influenza A is one type of influenza. There's also influenza B. Those are the two types of influenza. So it's the influenza virus. That's the virus that H1N1 comes from. H1N1 influenza A is actually the scientific name for it. Because it crossed over from animals to humans through pigs, pigs were involved in that process, it became labeled as swine flu. So the scientific name H1N1 influenza A new variant, we sometimes shorten up, and different medias use different names, but they're all the same name for a specific type of influenza A virus.
Oh yes, there have been numerous cases in Kingston. I can't give you the number of cases to date. I'm aware of 3 documented cases on the Queen's campus, and those people recovered at home without complications or serious illness, and we will continue to see cases in Kingston and likely more on campus as the students return.
We're lucky in that our preparations for the pandemics really started years ago. I mean, when you look at planning for emergencies and influenza pandemic planning, we know that their pandemics happen every 30 to 40 years. So we've had a good, check and understanding that it wasn't a matter of if a pandemic happened, it was a matter of when a pandemic was going to happen.
Well, Queen's has been very busy over the summer, and all the players in this kind of planning have had regular meetings. And basically what we're trying to do is make sure the information gets out as to how to reduce spread, what to do if you should develop H1N1, and when to get medical attention, what to do if those you hang out with get H1N1s, and what to do for the university as a whole should we have a major outbreak where in fact we need to address the issues of canceling classes, those sorts of things.
What are the basic signs or symptoms of an H1N1 infection, and when should we seek medical attention?
Well, H1N1 is really no different in its signs and symptoms than any regular influenza. You've got the standard, fever, coughing, sneezing, body aches, the standard influenza symptoms.
It's a mild illness. People don't feel well at all. But when you think about illness severity and complications and the damage it can do to an individual, it's considered a mild illness for most.
When should you seek medical attention? The same as you normally would. If you're so sick that you're not keeping food down and that you feel that your health is compromised, and you feel you need to see a doctor, that's when you should see a doctor.
If the illness is lasting longer, so for instance by a week if someone is still worsening, if you're coughing up blood, if you're having shortness of breath doing usual activities, not high exertion activities, if you're having disorientation, so confusion, unable to think properly or to care for yourself. Those would be indications for seeking medical attention urgently.
And what can I do as a student to protect myself from catching H1N1?
The first thing we want people to do is to get their seasonal flu shot, okay, their seasonal influenza immunization. It's not going to offer you complete protection against H1N1. It may not offer you any protection against H1N1, but what it will do is it will prevent you from getting sick from the regular circulating seasonal flu. That's very important so that your immune system isn't compromised leading into when H1N1 may come back. The second thing is to stay home when you're sick. Whether it's influenza or just some sort of common cold that circulates, if people stay home when they're sick, then infection doesn't spread. And when infection doesn't have a chance to spread, it doesn't become a problem for a lot of people. Don't touch your eyes, your nose, and your mouth. Again, those are ways that we tend to spread infection. Not good, oral hygiene and good hygiene things. So just keep your hands away from your face if you can. It's some things to think about. But the other thing that you can do is make sure that you wash your hands. Washing your hands, proper hand washing, can cut the rate of infectious disease spreading in half. And it takes about 20 seconds to properly wash your hands, about as long as it takes to sing happy birthday.
Wash them frequently. If you don't have access to soap and water, alcohol-based hand sanitizer will provide you the same kind of protection, and again, the 20-second rule applies.
KFLNA Public Health is the agency whose mandate is to promote and protect public health. So we're the agency that provides that information. Best place is through our website, www.kflapublichealth.ca.
Queen's Student Health has, our health service portion has information called Influenza 101, so you can log on to that, and that gives information not just about H1N1, but about influenza in general.
As the H1N1 virus becomes increasingly prevalent both within the Kingston community and on the global stage, it is important to recognize the signs and symptoms of this virus to better protect yourself from infection. I'm Trina Stevens reporting for Queen's TV.